Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Gyle here, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series. It is a fabulous day to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, not only do we have beautiful, majestic Sopcom coming up any moment, but also, yesterday, Justin Bieber got arrested. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Not, unfortunately, for his crimes against music. Lord knows he deserved it, but let's face it, we'll take what we could get. On to today's game. It's going to be a 4v4, and it's going to be borderline average Joes, but it's all going to go down on Canis Special Edition. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how these guys are going to get on. And I say borderline, many of you will be aware of how the system works. For those of you unfamiliar, what I class as average Joes, I take the average rating of all of the ratings you see here in brackets, and if it comes up below 1500, I call it average Joes, and if it comes up above, I call it not. And this came out at 1522, so it is damn close. But anyway, let's take a look at our teams. Going first up here at the top for Team 1, we have Tokito CZ, or Tokito as I shall be referring to him, in majestic, actually no, it's not, it's regal purple, going Cybrin opening first land. To his right over here, we have the quintessential Luzon, going by his lesser-known username, Luxy, in his customary Cyanide Scion, and going UEF, opening first land. To his right, thirdly, for team number 2, it's Chico in burgundy red, going Cybrin as well, opening first land. And last but not least, for team 1, we have BFA's Gugui. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I like it, so I'm going to go with that. Gugui in Pontiff White, and he's going Aeon, opening first land. So we have all races represented with the exception of Seraphim, and that extra slot taken up by a second Cybrin for Team 1. Let's take a look at Team 2 down here at the bottom right. Starting off, we have Hepco in Spetsnaz green, or combat green, or whatever that might be, going Cybrin, opening first land. To his left over here, it's not BC Awesome, that's actually Speed. He's renamed himself BC Awesome. It must be, I don't know, European joke or something. He's going Aeon in electric blue. To his left, the one and only Wild Noob in Hallie Orange. He's going Seraphim, opening first land, going second land. And last but not least, it's a girl but by a different name, the one and only Zoria, recently renamed herself to BC Pinkheart, but that's a bit of a mouthful, so I'm sticking with Zoria. Hope you don't mind, love. And those are the teams and how they match up. I think it's fair to say that you're going to be siding with Team 1 on this purely because of the presence of Luzon. That is an overwhelming. Yes, he's had his break, but he has an overwhelming advantage. It has to be said. Speed is a seriously good player in his own right. Wild Noob also very proficient. Can't say I've spent much time with Hepco, and Zoria is kind of a little bit above my kind of level. So. Very typical average Joe, no offense, love. But I pigeonhole myself in the same bracket. I haven't actually watched this through. I have been told there is a desync right at the end, and I have discerned from the file size that this is not particularly long. But I have a couple of people who I trust say I have to cast this replay, and so I am doing a blind cast. It should be interesting. Anyway, we can see how things are moving, and Team 1 fanning out very much as you would expect. We've got Tokito heading out to the left, Luzon coming out to his position on Tokito's flank, just over the land bridge there. We've also got Gugui, love that name, coming forward as you would expect, and of course, last but not least, Chico moving out to the right. No such movement so far from Team 2's ACUs. We've got Wild Noob throwing an upgrade on his comm there. Pinkheart or Zoria also throwing an upgrade and completing. Let's just take a look at what that was. She's gone straight for T2 Tech. First couple of units from Team 1 coming down south and engaging. Might pick up a couple of engineers here. No, they won't. Thought they were Mantis. They were, in fact, Labs. And another one coming out. Hepco has crossed the river, so he is out of his base, but he's throwing an upgrade on his comm as well. That's going to finish any moment, and that is T2 Tech as well. Wild Noob has finished his. Okay, so there's a resounding theme here. Everybody going for tech. What is speed about? Speed, as of the moment, not with any upgrades. But we have a transport on the way. Okay, so there's something very strange going on here. More units coming south. This time they are Mantis from Chico. But there's something very strange going on from Team 2. Few air units out on the field for both Wild Noob and Speed. At the moment, the only person from Team 1 that's branching into the air game is Luzun. Not surprising there. He loves to dip a toe into all areas of combat, so that's not unusual at all. We do have a T2 transport in play, another one on the way as well, and finally an upgrade on Speed's comm. That's about to finish. That transport is finished, so I think you're about to see something quite interesting here, guys. We've got 2 transports on the way. One's already been gifted to Wild Noob. Everybody has gone for the T2 engineering suite. To give you some background information, Wild Noob, Zoria and Speed, I don't know about Hepco, but certainly those 3 play with each other a lot. They're like a little SOCOM team, so a crazy unified strategy is not out of the question, and I think we're going to see some multiple commander drop. And while Hepco isn't part of their normal group, he has already got the engineering suite, and I like what they've done here. They've given Speed the task of spitting out all the transports. He's gifting them over. You'd almost think they'd rehearse this, which they may well have done. That's been gifted over to Hepco now. And the final transport on the way, 30% complete and climbing. And this is an all or nothing, all in play from Team 2. If this doesn't work, it could go horrendously badly wrong. If they lose 1 or 2 of the transports on the way over, they need to tie up Luzun's interceptors if they're going to get anything done. That's absolutely vital. It has to be done. ACU's now boarding the transports. Speed looking like he's preparing to run a screen for those transports. ACUs are away. Luzun and his air force currently stationed over here, and no other air units on the field for Team 1. If you take a look at what this looks like for Team 1, Luzun the first to see them coming. The pings go out, and this is the point where you think, oh no. The last transport could potentially be picked off. Hepco is tailing. Luzun immediately dispatches his interceptors to follow. I think everybody else is going to make landfall okay. Speed is on the ground. Wild Noob is about to drop. Interceptors coming, but they're only going to be able to take the transport down to about 50% before Hepco makes landfall. But Luzun, already well wary of this, has constructed a whole bunch of PD in his area. Wild Noob hasn't started building his stuff yet, which is a wise decision. This could still go horribly wrong. Wild Noob supporting Hepco there. Hepco having to cancel that initial PD because the PD that was on the ground from Luxy. Taquito, building wall sections, already has 3 units of PD. I'm surprised they're not firing. Just about on the edge of that range. That latest one opening up on Wild Noob. But what's nice about Wild Noob's choice is he's gone straight for land factories, and they're immediately producing Zuis. They're going to be able to cut through these structures nice and quickly, but more importantly, they're going to be able to range all of the defensive PD that is going up quickly. Luxy applauds the strat in local chat. He's also withdrawn his ACU from the front. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't all come running home. Chico not moving as yet. Neither is Taquito. Gogui, however, is returning to base. Speed has got 3 Eruptors online, a 4th in production, 2 online for Hepco. Wild Noob running with 4 land factories. He's going Zui all the way, and why the hell not? Zoria has managed to get 1 PD and 1 T1 anti-air up, but there are Cerberus turrets being thrown together up to the right by Chico, taking us back up to normal speed. We now have contact with Luzon's ACU and Gogui coming back into their main base. Speed has lost 2 of the front Eruptors thanks to some of the fervors that are coming back from Gogui as well. A 3rd Eruptor down. Their campaign stands upon a knife edge. There's no other way to look at it. Speed rebuilds that rear right Eruptor, only for it to fall down a few moments later. But Hepco gets a Cerberus turret online as well, which is a nice variation to their defensive network. Wild Noob down to around 8,300 hit points, but he's managed to clear out all of the PD that Taquito has been throwing together by that defensive wall. We have got T2 land back here, but I would be very surprised if T1 managed to get out of this one. Luzon down to around 6,200, but Speed has taken a battering thanks to all of these Auroras and Fervors. Needs to be supremely careful. He's down to around 1,400 hit points. He's going to back up behind the cover of Hepco Cerberus turrets, of which there are now 4 in play. Sorry, 3 in play. He's even found time to teeth one of the mexes there. But this central base of Luzon's essentially out of commission now. He's got a little side base going on further down that's already been converted to T2 land, but the Cerberus turret's stinging it at range. We have got a couple of Obsidians coming through. They could cause a few problems. Zoria needs to be careful as well, though. Chico has erected a ton of Cerberus PD, and the forward ones have a lot of range on her still to go. You can see that is the line that she's going to need to get behind if she wants to draw herself out of that fire altogether. Zoria also bringing in a line of T1 across the land bridge. We have TAC missile launchers online from Taquito. I wonder if he's trying to go for a com kill or if he's just trying to dispatch factories or PD. I think that's going to come straight in to that Seraphim unit. A point defense there from Wild Noob takes it out, but it's going to be too little, too late to give you an idea of what things look like on a team perspective. That is a big, dirty ball of red in the middle of Team 1's base. And now we even have a little bit of basic shielding on the go right in the center. Speed still needs to be careful, just 3,000 hit points on the clock. Where is Luzon? He's had to back up, though, below 2,000 hit points. Zoria chasing him back into the water with a few units of T1. I think he's going to be okay. He's got the benefit of the water there. And those TAC missile launchers have fired their last, I think, as Wild Noob comes up from the south with a band of T1. Even if it's not ended right here, Team 1's eco is in tatters, and look at all of this development going on. This is surely game for Team 2. A lovely, aggressive, all-in 4-player ACU drop. I cannot, repeat, cannot get enough of this strategy. Fantastic to see. Always entertaining. And Zoria throwing up some units of T2 PD a little bit further back, giving potentially Speed and Hepco a secondary base to fall back to should this one fall, but I think they're doing all right for the moment. Chico's units of PD, the Cerberus turrets, just not able to chew through that front Aeon T2 shield gen now. And we've got a little bit of wall art going on. Luzon finding the funny side as only a true champion can. Fighting laugh out loud in wall sections as he makes his way back into the water. He's going to take a pretty big volley of Zui fire. I'm sure he'll be okay, at least for the moment. Not that it's going to help them long term. I'm sure this is well and truly over. Gogui coming back into the field of play with just 1,500 hit points. He knows he's got to run the risk of dying now, but takes a huge volley at range from the PD. And I think that was more or less a walk of shame, the suicide walk to get it over and done with. In he goes. And the GGs go out all round. Luxy quits the game, doesn't get killed off. We do have a desync right at the end there. I was warned this was going to happen, but it doesn't appear early enough in the game to affect the replay in any great way, shape or form. No point in me trying to click the OK button. There goes the core of Luzon's ACU after quitting out. Taquito taking damage now, 4,000 HP left on him. But a stunning bit of play there from Team 2, really entertaining. And Chico's actually gone for a walk. Why not go on the attack, indeed. 2,800 hit points left on Taquito's ACU. We passed the 15-minute mark, which is my absolute limit. I knew it was going to be a short one because for a Canis, the file size was pretty significantly small, so I knew it was going to be over quickly. I have to confess, I didn't quite expect it to be over that quickly, especially not with Luzon's team dying in a fire that quickly. There goes Chico to a wall of Jester fire. Stunning victory. And it just shows you how devastating a nicely timed ACU drop can be. And that was so incredibly short, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to try and see if I can find a second one for you to bring you today. Because otherwise you're not going to feel like you got your money's worth. But in the meantime, guys, as always, stay well and stay safe. This is Gyle signing out.